Hello and welcome to my updated guide on the Stealth plus Explosives build that I presented more than a month ago. I know some of you have been waiting very patiently for this update, and I apologize for the lack of commitment from my side. When all the duping started happening, I just took a break from the game when the servers were too unstable, and I only just recently came back, as you might know. But as promised though, now that we have respeccing, I want to showcase just the alterations that I've made to my build, give a little bit of context as to my thoughts behind it, and you know, just show you, unlike last time, exactly what it's capable of. Let's just start from the beginning with my gear, and again, like last time, there will be timestamps in the description in case you're just interested in certain aspects of this video or my setup. I would definitely suggest that you have a look at my last video, the Explosives plus Stealth build, because this is basically just an alteration of that. So I will not go over everything in detail, but I will mainly emphasize on the alterations that I've made to the build. Right, so first of all, as you can see in the corner, this is a Bloodied build. So that means that we are focusing on weapons that deal more damage as we're getting lower on health. And as you can see here, this is my main weapon for this setup. And the Bloodied lever action rifle, which it took me quite a while to find all of the components for it, but it was definitely worth it. It's doing 250 unequipped, but once we equip it and it actually scales off of our health, 450. Add this to the fact that a stealth build then does 2.5 damage multipliers, or 3.5 if it's night. It's suppressed, so we won't get discovered. And we have tank killer, so there's a lot of armor penetration on this. I haven't even gotten all of the components for that, so we can probably still get more benefits out of this than I currently have. But this is what I'm running, and it's performing very well. Just to give you an idea of the setup for this, let's hop to my effects. First, we'll touch upon the mutations. This is basically the adrenal reaction that's doing a lot for us here. It's increasing our weapon damage, scaling based off our missing health. It might keep scaling below 20% health, but at the very least I know that it scales, it performs best at under 20%. Initially you'll see a gain in damage as your health drops, but it's very, very little initially. But once you start getting down under 50, and then especially under 20%, that just ramps up like crazy, just naturally, like the Bloodied enhancement of the legendary gear does. So those two go very well hand in hand. That's also why I'm doing two videos here, because there's obviously, Bloodied isn't really the best thing for a nuke zone, seeing as you will keep getting irradiated. So I have a slightly different build setup for that. But those are the main ones. Obviously, you can see I also have a few others beyond that compared to the last video, but that's the main one that's really affecting how this build plays. As for the rest of my setup, I have my Bloodied here when I want to save ammunition. The way I farm like ammunition isn't really much of an issue. I'm crafting like crazy. If you want, I can also make a crafting video with all the essential perks for that and some of the good crafting spots if you want to craft something like ammunition, but that's up to you guys. Just let me know. But yeah, whenever I want to conserve ammunition, just swap to my instigating death tambo, which will then hit on the first hit on an enemy, hit for more than 500 with this amount of health because of adrenal reaction. So even with a lower damage multiplier, that's pretty damn OP. It's safe to put it like that. In terms of the gear I'm wearing, other than my fashion statements, it hasn't changed too much. I believe I was wearing these two pieces last time as well. And again, I'm usually going mostly for the benefits of them, like a little bit of extra carry weight there, junk reduction here. I'm such a hoarder, so that's very useful for me. We have the resistant leathers, just giving us some more perception and agility. We have the troubleshooter arm, which reduces fall damage by 50% and increases action point refresh, which is just insane. Normally I would say that you should opt with a build like this for stuff that improves your stealth, but some of these bonuses are just too good to pass up. Then I have Unyielding on my breastplate, just for that insane boost, 3+ to every stat whenever I'm lower than 20% health, which I am pretty consistently. And then Unyielding as well. So that's 4 perception and +3 stats to everything else except for endurance through this, and free from the chest. So that's a lot of carry weight. As you can see as well, most of this I have extra carry weight on. If not, yeah, I think all of it got extra carry weight through deep pocketed, except for this one, which I believe has stabilized. No, I haven't even modded this. Well, improvements to be made, boys. I also have Carmillion's Shrouded Wood Right Arm. Whenever I'm not below 20% or I'm not struggling for carry weight, I usually just put this on, as it just improves stealth quite a bit. Being able to turn invisible on demand and having extra movement speed, and also being harder to detect in dark places is just very valuable. So that's usually what I use for my build whenever I'm not struggling for any other stats. As you can see, it weighs 0.45, so it's very easy to carry around with me and just swap. So this, once I get deep pocketed on this, that'll give me 25 extra carry weight, whereas the other one will just help with my stealth when I don't need that. Right, now let's move on to perks, as most of you are probably mainly interested in for this. Right, so as you can see, some of my perks remain more or less the same. I still have all my carry weight reduction, because just like last time, I'm a hoarder. I still have my rifleman perks as well as tank killer, just to get the most buck out of my bang on the rifles. Then for endurance, I'm currently running Ironclad and Aqua Girl. Aqua Girl is pretty self-explanatory. This is just basically to not take extra radiation to whatever extent that's possible, just because my Bloodied build is already running on very low health in the first place. And this just makes getting around in certain places easier. Ironclad, just in case we take damage, it's reduced. You can easily change these for very other very good perks, like Cannibal if you're hungry, Campfind if you just want to be even more OP. We're obviously running Lone Wanderer as a solo stealth build here. I've been traveling a lot, so I've been using Travel Agent, but you can pretty much put anything in here. I have Strange in Numbers just in case I team up with anyone. Normally I'd take those two off and just run Field Searching instead. It has less use. It just makes your Radaway and Stimpaks basically tick, rather than like at a decent pace, it makes them tick very quickly. But this obviously has limited use once you don't have a lot of health to recover, and you don't really need to clear your rats. So you can kind of do whatever you want with those. I usually ran with Gunsmith at rank 5, which I downgraded to rank 2, just because of Nerd Rage. 20% extra damage, 40 extra damage resistance isn't a big deal. 15% AP regeneration is alright, but the 20% damage output is just insane. Just for comparison, let's see, the Bloodied lever action was doing 450. Now, let's just take Nerd Rage off and see just how much that actually adds to it. 375. So that's a flat 75%, flat 75 points increase, just from having those free perk points. Arguably one of the best perks in terms of pure damage for any build would be Bloody Mess, doing 15% extra. but even that doesn't perform as well as Nerd Rage, if you're doing a bloody build, that is. Now, as you can see, I also moved some of my points mainly from agility to, intellect to agility, and the main thing I wanted out of this was adrenaline. We have evasive here, again, just for more damage resistance in case we get hit. But the main thing that we want out of it is adrenaline, because this just ramps up your damage like absolutely crazy. If you're using way weaker weapons, say you need to take 6 shots to kill an enemy, you kill a few of those, and you're down to 3 or 4 shots. I believe this maxed 36 for my personal setup here. Extra % damage applies before any modifiers, such as stealth. So this ramps up like crazy. You can just shred pretty much anything once you've killed a few enemies. And that's also why I play very aggressively with my stealth build, just to constantly try to keep this buff up, basically. Because you can basically rush through any kind of place if you just maintain this. 1 or 2 shotting most things, even with way weaker weapons or builds. I would definitely recommend against investing more than 1 point into this, because you saw Nerd Rage gave me 75 extra flat damage. Bloody Mess is 15% extra. This is 1% extra per stack, per perk point. So the difference between rank 1 and rank 5 here is noticeable, but not noticeable enough to justify the 4 perk points spent, I would argue. Then the rest of the changes here is that I basically taken out some of the utility from my luck. Obviously I have starch genes for the mutations. Bloody Mess is amazing, so I keep that. And then I took Class Freak. Initially I wasn't really sure if, because I didn't have a big issue with the side effects, but just the fact that it gives you at least extra 15 carry weight. It does give you a bit of extra stats here and there as well. It's just, it all adds up. And when you're playing a bloody build and you're having 3 extra perk points for everything through unyielding pieces, then, I mean, once all of it adds together, you just become incredibly OP, basically. Serenidipity, I guess. Sorry for my pronunciation there. That's just 1 more perk point. Just more or less random. I could change this for anything else, and I do occasionally. Like change it for Scrounger when I need ammunition. Change it for Fama whenever I need more medical supplies. I mean, I have more than 200 hours of grinding on this character, so my inventory is pretty much stuck with everything. I get all the grenades I need from my super mutant farming. I have enough of stim packs. Since I never really need to heal, I have enough purified because I have several water purifiers. I craft ammunition every chance I get, so the weapons I mainly use, 556 rounds and the 45 rounds, I just craft those whenever I get the chance. So I'm not really struggling for anything, but I can carry a lot of stuff, and this build can pretty much tear anything apart without much effort. See, I don't even believe that we have both unyielding, but this is just 2 pieces of unyielding armor on with my current build. Obviously, running a bloodied build, I am a glass cannon. I have practically no health, I have no endurance, so aside from a little bit of damage resistance, I have nothing to protect me. But with that said, plus 17 strength, with deep-pocketed on everything, means you can carry a shitload of stuff, especially with the carry weight reductions. And we have all of our stats so high, like every piece of gear you generally find more good gear, and it's generally beyond 100% repaired. So it's just all around a really nice build. The only thing is, like, confrontation against big enemies such as Scorch Beasts or other players like actively attacking you, you're pretty much fucked. But for as long as you can stay hidden, that's pretty much all you need. Right. I believe that was most of what I felt the need to cover with this particular pod. Keep your eyes open for pod 2, which will cover some alterations in the build and how it performs inside of nuke zones. I'm using slightly different gear, I'm using different perk setup, and I just want to show you, if you're interested, how that performs. Now, I am just gonna roll some clips of how this actually performs in action, clearing out first the Super Mutant Factory, and then I'll kill a Deathclaw. I was planning to kill a Scorch Beast, but someone killed them all off, so yeah, I'll roll those clips, and then I hope you enjoy. And thanks for watching. Leave a like if it helped you or inspired you, and I'll see you around in part 2, I hope. So we're back at West Tech now, just the usual spot where I usually go and farm. You've probably seen it in some of the other videos if you've been here before, but now we're just gonna quickly run through this just to demonstrate the damage output of this build. Hopefully we're not gonna get noticed, because we're pretty squishy with this build. That's the one thing you really have to keep in mind. Okay, now Super Mutant just came up behind us. That was pretty unlucky. Well, we seem to be fine. Right, there's still quite a few Super Mutants in here. So, just want to be a little bit careful. But as you can see, this weapon, even without the adrenaline buffs, probably even without the modifiers we're currently seeing, it's pretty much one-shotting everything. And that's just a combination of various damage multipliers: Bloodied, Adrenal Reaction, Nerd Rage. There's other things you can stack on top of this, obviously, and seeing as they multiply off of the other things such as Bloody Mess and Rifleman, this works both with this build but also any other kind of build that might utilize the same or similar perks. So if you wanted to do something like a stealth melee build, you could just as well run around with this kind of gear, this health pool, and you would do way more damage. But yeah, I've stuck with this Rifleman build that I've pretty much played since the get-go, and it's working for me. I rarely ever take a hit, and as you might have seen with my inventory, I have like 400 or something stim packs. I have my grenades in case I need them, seeing as a frac MIRV grenade can easily just annihilate a bunch of super mutants in one throw. It's not even worthwhile for me really to be running the explosive perks anymore. So yeah, this build is just, it can tear pretty much anything apart extremely fast. There's one super mutant somewhere in here still. I'm not sure where to go, but as you can see, we pretty much cleared the place out very fast without taking any damage. So that's kind of the power of this build. Now, before I end the video, I just want to quickly go over and find myself a Scorch Beast just to take a shot. See, I don't fight Scorch Beast all that often, so I don't actually know exactly how much it's going to do, but I'll take you guys along and we'll just have a look at just how much damage this build does against a Scorch Beast in a single go. So, let's have a look at that. Right, I just came back to my base and I just wanted to add this as a bonus clip. Let's just have a look at how much this Bloodied lever action does against the Deathclaw at level 91. It's almost a one-shot. Broke stealth past the first shot, but if that had been at night, that would have been a one-shot on the Deathclaw. So while that wasn't a Scorch Beast, that's just gonna kind of show you just how much damage this weapon actually does against a stronger enemy. Seeing as I couldn't really find a Scorch Beast. I think they've all been killed on this server. But yeah, thanks for watching, and I hope you guys enjoyed. So have a good one. And don't forget to check in on Part 2 if you're interested in how an extension of this build, not quite this build, but an extension of it performs in the nuke zones. It'll hopefully be coming sooner than you guys were waiting for this update. So have a good one, guys.